Hello and welcome to Mechwarrior Online. Today I'm doing a review of two Jenners, and they're exactly the same model, well, within some parameters. One of them was given away as a loyalty mech, and the other one I actually purchased. But let me show you what I'm talking about. And this is basically what is affectionately also known as the toilet mech, because when you look at it from the side, it kind of does look like a toilet. I know this is what they were thinking about when they made it. They're like, you know what, we're going to make a mech that looks like a toilet. So this is the Jenner JR7-IIC, and then this is the O, whatever O stands for. I'm sure somebody else knows, but I'm not that geeky to know. So I have two of these, and they're two very different builds, and they both work exceptionally well at their job. We're going to talk about Anubis first. There's Anubis and the rear armor inspector. So Anubis has 4 ATM-3s, 2 SRM-6s for self-defense, with 1 ton of ammo for the SRM-6. And then what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tons of ammo for the 4 ATM-3s. Believe it or not, I had a match where I did 830 damage with this mech. I also am running a little bit smaller engine on this one, the Clan XL 225. And this gives me a heat management of 1.45 with an external double heat sink. It gives me a firepower of 48, which is actually a little bit higher than that because the ATMs do a little bit better damage at close range. And then a speed of 110.4. Let me show you what you get for the quirks, which applies to both mechs, since this is not an Omnipod mech. So chassis C build bonus plus 30, heat from firepower minus 10, armor center torso plus 18, plus 10 on the left and right torso, left and right arm you're getting plus 10, and on the base structure for the right arm and the left arm you're also getting plus 4. So this makes this thing pretty tanky. In addition, you're getting overheat damage minus 20% and seismic sensor plus 100%. So even if you don't add any seismic sensor, you're going to have a really amazing seismic sensor on this mech. So what this mech really benefits from is being able to have close range support and CQ-B, but it also has this massive range which this mech delivers, which is 1,265 meters at range. And at maximum range, it's doing its intended 6 damage. But in that optimum range, it's actually doing 8 damage. So 8 times 4 is 32, plus 12, 20, plus 24 is 56. So you can actually do quite a bit more damage in close range with these, and that's 60 meters to 280 meters, and these will go all the way out to 310. So this is a force to be reckoned with. As far as the skills on this one, you know, range, some heat variance, definitely velocity, missile features, a little bit of speed added here. And because this is an ATM build, I always have advanced zoom on my ATM builds. And you can see this works out really well. So I've added an additional seismic on here as well, just on top of it, which makes this thing so much better. Let's look at the other one. Now this is what I call the rear armor inspector. And the rear armor inspector is just that. 6 SRM-4s. And we're talking about 5 tons of ammo, and the engine on this one gives you a speed of 131.5. So this one's quick, so you can get in behind somebody really fast, go point blank range and hit them with 6 SRM-4s, and you can do the damage. If you don't mind losing a lot of ammo, you can go down to 6 SRM-6s. The cooldown on these is 3 seconds, and I'm trying to remember Yeah, it's almost a full second longer for SRM6s. So there is an advantage to going to the SRM4s in the fact that you can fire them more often, and they also produce a little bit less heat. 2.7 versus their counterpart of 3.4. So you're getting a faster cooldown rate and less heat, which means you can actually fire them more often. And that's something you should consider when you're thinking about doing SRM6s and SRM4s. Sometimes I'll run SRM4s on my builds even if I have the room for the SRM6s. And of course this is Endo and Farah, so I've maxed out all the little features I can get out of this thing. And once again, the heat management's 1.42, firepower is sitting at 48, and the speed is 131. When you go to the skills on this one, it's not much different, honestly. There is a little bit more added to reinforced casing, which isn't going to help a lot on a light mech, but it does help some. But because this is a close quarters battle mech, having advanced zoom on here doesn't do you any benefit whatsoever. There's no reason to have it, because it's not going to do anything for you. You can't use those weapons at range. Once you go outside of the 310 meter range on these, they're not doing anything. And you can see they drop off fast, like 0. In car audio terms, that's a 48 dB Butterworth drop off. It just falls. So this guy here, really great at doing damage on the battlefield. Chances are you've probably been killed on the battlefield by one of these toilets with either SRM6s or SRM4s. Depends on how long you want to stay in the battle. Some really good players will run 6 SRM6s, and the reason for that, with the less ammo on them, is that they figure they're going to spend most of their time basically coming up and just flanking a mech really hard and doing some damage, like taking a leg off or something like that. So they're going to wait until there's a lot more mechs that are damaged on the battlefield before they start getting into the match really hardcore. So those are some of the things to consider. That's why I have this guy painted the way I do. And I hope this was informative, and I hope you consider these two builds for your JR7.